Welcome everyone to round 2 of the Dynamic Knights Esports Tier 1 Purple US tier. Now we're at Interlagos today with nearly a full grid. We've got 16 drivers, a slight improvement from the previous week. Obviously, we have a little bit of a wild card if you're a regular fan at Renault. So we won't get into him too much, but in the commentary box here today, I have Dougie Falcons that he's no longer here. He just left. So he's gone to go wash his hands. But before we even continue, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Track Racer and CD Keys, for obviously helping us out into Season 1 of F1 2020. And we also have a website down in the description below, and also our link to the person that produces the music. He is verified on Spotify, so go check him out. But we're getting into qualifying. It seems to be a bit of an overcast. It doesn't seem like it's going to rain, but hopefully a driver can give us some intel that it's going to be a wet race or anything. And we've just been confirmed that it's going to be a dry start. And then it's going to come into weather, and then 45 minutes into the race is going to be heavy rain. So all of these drivers will be sending it on the softs. As we've already seen a car, it looks like he just pulled to the side. Is that for Slani? Oh,
yes.
Yes, it is. Oh, welcome, Dougie. Welcome back into the comms box. Have you finished washing your hands? COVID safe?
Yes, I am.
That's good, because that's the excuse that I used.
Second.
How are you feeling today?
Laggy. That's how I feel today right now.
Yeah, the lag is doing you well. But Dougie, we've got some intel that the race is going to be a dry start, then it's going to go into inters, and then it's full wet conditions. Full wet into 45 minutes. So strategy-wise, obviously send it on the softs, and then get on the inters as soon as DRS is disabled, and then would you pit for full wets if it gets to that condition, or would you think inters are going to be a strong enough tyre?
It really does depend. I think like the intermediates are a strong tyre, so they could last. As we look at 40 minutes into the session, it will be depending on how they play it out in the early phases, because sometimes the rain might not happen until later on, or it might even happen earlier than expected. So they could go in intermediates, but if it does get to that heavy wet scenario, then it's going to be, they could hold out on the intermediates, but then it's going to be close and touch and go if they'll touch on the wet tires. So really does depend on when it does come. If it comes in early, then yeah, I think they might need to go into the wet. But if it comes later, then they could probably hold out for intermediates and see what happens. But as we're in the early phases, Katie still holds pole position on a 107.5, 14 minutes to go. So yeah.
You're close. Not sure how the screen is on your end, especially with the lag. I have a feeling that it's not.
Is it 3? No, it's 0.3.
Yeah, it's 0.3.
It's because I can't see the purple. Like the purple is like.
I know how bad it is.
They
said they updated
hidden,
it.
Yeah,
it's still quite bad, especially with an overcast. I'm just wondering how it is like on your end, because you're watching it from a screen. Is it laggy on your end as well, or is it not too bad?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just I couldn't in an overcast scene. That purple, I couldn't see it. So I looked. It just went up to the sky for like a moment. I just looked at the time. I was like, I'm guessing that's 5 surely, and it's 3 actually. 393. Is that 393? It is 393 actually.
Yeah.
So they said they fixed that. They didn't fix it.
It's still quite poor. I feel like what they need to do is maybe put like a back shadow on it, or like a looming light just to make it stand out more.
Maybe
because the whole left hand side is quite dull, but it doesn't see the names stick out, but then the names are not. Just put them in bold. Put the letters and put the numbers in bold. It should be fine.
Or just highlight first and like a certain color that purple can be seen and illuminated into.
Yeah, maybe the background needs to be just purple and then it's still a white. Maybe.
like in the old days when number 1 used to be shined up as red, like you'd be number 1, and then like you'd have
Yeah,
2, 3,
yeah.
4, and 5 just grey.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
should be.
Yeah, maybe it
That
just needs
should
to
how
be a
it be, but
highlighted purple. Maybe, yeah, exactly. Maybe just the number 1. Like say, like at the moment, should just be purpled out, and then we can just look at the time and go, yes, I know he's quickest. He's on top.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need to be purple unless it's in the race. But then again, you can just put it
Yeah, exactly.
purpled out the number on the left-hand side, and we'll be fine.
I think that they really need to like fix that again, or go back to drawing. But then again, they've done fixes and they just never bothered to fix them ever again. So I guess this is the best we're going to get in this game.
And even on the forums, they were mentioning, well, from our beta drivers that we had, they said that we could remove the left-hand side icon, say like the F1 2020, but we can't remove it until it's the last one, which is the whole thing. So like you see how like on the bottom right, we have the hide UI. It should be linked with that. But of course, it's an official game. You've got to have your logo everywhere. But like, I don't want to just slap the DNE logo because we have the one up the top. But it also shows we're playing F1 2020, not F1 2019. I guess.
Exactly. It's like they didn't really think this through when they were trying to make up.
No,
they were make.
Especially when like even the whole left-hand side is somehow like when like the mediums are slightly out of line towards the rest of the people on mediums. And last night we had people pit on fresh hards, but they showed 21 lap old hards. But it's already a bit.
I thought they fixed that. I thought they fixed it.
We had it last night. We had it for 2 drivers, and then on the first round, our intervals weren't popping up for like 8 drivers until they crossed the start-finish line, and then it reset. so it's always a bit interesting, yeah. But enough rambling about Codemasters. The one driver we kind of want more out of is Lopez, because first round he got pole position, or P2 against Top Gun. Then he spun it into the pits, and then he lost the car afterwards, and then pit again for softs, and then pit again, and then pit again. Hopefully his luck comes back into this race, because from that safety car restart, he lost the back end and just went straight into the pits. It's not like he wanted to go in there.
No, he's been a ton unlucky. He went into the pits by accident. I assume he just lit up the railways. I think OP Magic did that in Blue in Australia, that race, that weekend, that fateful meme.
Yeah, he didn't just go into the pit lane. He went into the wall and reversed, and many car parks.
Yes. Yeah, the spinala meme was strong that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, he did the same thing, but this time it was in the pit entry. He went into pits and had to do a pit stop. But as he comes around and finishes across the line, he is on a purple lap. So I guess we'll see what the time he does. As KD does the fastest time of 107.1, that gets beaten. Oh no, it doesn't get beaten. So 107.450. 107.4 from Lopez.
Even against KD's first time, it wouldn't have beaten it. But our wild card, Banana Cake Pie, who enjoys this track so much that it kind of makes everyone else repel against it. He's done a 175, so obviously he's got more pace to give it with everything that goes down. Hopefully he takes some sweaty lines, but he didn't take one there. So he's obviously not watching your hot lap in particular, because you take a very narrow line limiting how much track miles you take during this actual lap. So, but he'll most likely take the final sweaty line, which is hugging the left-hand side onto the back straight. And hopefully he stays into third, and he does. Well, he flips down to second for half a second.
Yeah, so he goes to third and short shifts. Coming up to now Pico de Plateau. Gets a lot of wheel spin in the exit and coming up to what is that corner? It has a name. That has a name. We'll come back to it. And Young Cal coming in the last corner, proper corner before like you get to the thing. He goes wide, but doesn't actually go wide enough.
He's not holding that narrow line.
This should be. He likes holding this narrow line, which is the fastest way. And
but
he does go and put it to third.
Yeah, I feel like he can gain a full 1/10.5 holding that narrow line into turn 3. Here.
Yeah, almost like hugging the wall. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're hugging the wall, yeah. Because naturally, when the car is rotating around, you're gaining to the DRS zone quicker, so you get that early DRS zone, which gains you time towards the end of the straight, which he doesn't do, as you mentioned.
Because if you hold the racing line, obviously you're not scrubbing the most speed off your tires, but because of the way the DRS is laid out, you actually gain that back quicker. You're not actually losing time. You're gaining it a lot quicker. But in the final one, he didn't hug that line as strong as I thought he was going to do compared to some other drivers that we've seen. So as a wild card, I thought Pole would have been in his back pocket because KD was holding that line. I'd like to see what Top Gun can do later in the session as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you have certain different lines how they take it. My guide, what I suggested was probably maybe. Oh, we have a spin. Oh, Dilgaff. Dilgaff just spinning in the exit of turn 8 there, or turn 9, and gets going. Loses his front wing, but he has 6 minutes to go, and he can be able to get that done. He's at a 1:07.6, in 5th place right now. So times aren't looking as stunning as we anticipated them to be, but still 6 minutes left, and it's overcast, so we can allow the times. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be optimal temperatures for these cars, but again, these guys have to all send on softs because that rain's going to be coming around halfway through the stint of the times that I was given. So I'll just have a double check with it again. So it's roughly 20 minutes into the race when the light rain comes in, and then it's 45 minutes when the heavy rain comes. So you could still do a medium stint.
I would, if it was me, I would just went to the soft stint, because a soft stint, I know that tires would last. Like we saw. I know we have another spinner, I think. Oh no, it was just Alfa Romeo stuff. Yeah. But it was we saw that with OP Magic in Brazil, where he took the soft tires 19 laps all the way and then pitted. So in theory, you could probably take the softs all the way to 19 laps.
Yeah.
If your tire management is good.
Yeah, Top Gun goes second. Yeah, because this track isn't really known for killing your tires, so you can really just drag them out. Like, mediums can go for a good 25 laps.
Yeah, the reason why there's not many, like, your tires don't die is because there's not many high-speed corners. There's only 2 high-speed corners on this track, so all the rest are slow speed. So that's why your tires just don't die out as much. Say for example, Austria. Actually, even Austria doesn't die out as much because there's only like 2 high-speed corners as well. Say Mexico. Mexico is a good example because Mexico actually has 5 high-speed corners that you have to navigate through, and that's why your tires die out quicker.
Yeah, the rest is just hard braking zones. But like, hopefully all these drivers do go on the softs. I'm pretty sure they will. All the times are pretty competitive. Where are you? Detail. Yeah. See what I mean? Oh, look at all the softs. Look at this. Look. Just put them in line, man. It's not hard. Look at that.
I know. It's just a mess.
How do you do this?
I don't even know. I mean, like, we'll assume that he has done 2 laps, which I highly doubt he's done 2 laps. He probably did, but we also got Vissalani doing 4 laps on tires. I'm not sure if that's even correct, but maybe he has done 4 laps, and that's the only one that's actually correct. But
yeah, 4 laps on softs.
Yeah,
may out lap 2 lappers out and then in lap. Yeah, it
but
could link up.
Lopez is the first. Well, as we talked about that, Lopez was the first person to break into the 6s. He did a 6.9, so it is. But no, we're now starting to get into the comparable times that we had in Masters. Lopez setting a very competitive time that would have put him top 4.
Top 4
in Masters, yeah.
Yeah, Masters had a really, really, really strong qualifying. Like if you gained a 10th, it would be the difference between like P5 and first. It's ridiculous. We had even had a driver set the same time. Second, no, he set the same time, but he crossed the line second, and he was placed above the driver. But then Aaron improved his time, so he went above him at the end. But me and Smeg were just like, we've never seen that before. A guy who set a time second and placed above.
Yeah, the actual official ruling is that if two people set at the same time, the person who said it first will get the position ahead of the other driver. But I guess the game doesn't register that.
They've gone backwards again.
Anyway.
They've gone backwards again.
They just put it randomly. I was like, oh yeah, he gets involved because his name's Becker or something. But yeah, that was kind of unfortunate at the time. But obviously, I think
you can't even go alphabetical order with those two.
X Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was X Revolution that actually got the position in the end. But yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that, and I was like, "What? That's not right."
And you can't even go, and you can't even see the PSN names and go alphabetical order because they were both GeForce related, and one has 2 A's, and he was placed below. So you can't even go with that. Giannis was placed above, so maybe the game just doesn't know because it seems like KD is getting out the way here, which is good. But let's see if Banana can improve his time. Because he just got a 170.
170 flat. He did get substitute from the Haas that was in front of him. That looked like Dilgaf as he's starting his lap. We are in the last minute as Lopez starts his lap for his attempt at maintaining pole position, coming past the center S into cover the Sol.
Doesn't keep him much of a narrow line. Not scrubbing a lot of.
Doesn't give him. Yeah, he's just keeping it open and breaks past the 15 forward, goes into turn 4, goes wide, but keeps it. Does get purple first sector, so this should be greater than 106.9. Takes the easy flat through Ferradora, and the S section coming up to Little Factory. It's a nice short shift, gets a bootlegger power, car steps out a little bit, but he can be able to manage it. Pico de Plato gets decent drive, and then Magulio, the corner I forgot, but now remember, and takes a corner cut into Juncker. That's an interesting way. Takes all of the apex in the world. Coming up to the last section, where he gets that DRS line, takes the shortest run for the line, and this should easily be a 106 something. Oh no, he doesn't improve.
Lust by just a whisker. Top Gun.
Wow. So I guess that last sector, he took 2 more.
And improves by 2/10, so he jumped him into P2, only down by a small amount. So Banana goes into P3, KD in P4, and J-Dunk P5. So not a bad qualifying session from these lads. Really strong times. Two drivers got into the 6. A wild card entry, just short, and then KD just behind him. So all it's going to come down to is how well these drivers go on their first stint before the rain. As these drivers in the pit lane, hopefully they retire. Nearly done. Still a minute left. Hopefully these guys retire, but if not, we'll be just chilling in the comm box until so. Hello to all the viewers on Twitch as well. Not giving you as much love as the YouTube ones. But Banana Cake Pie says, the fuck I'm doing in the top 5? Well, if you actually held a narrow line, I think you would have been in that pole position, because there's not much of a difference. And I think you might have gained a 10 taking that narrow line. If you want to refer to what I'm talking about, feel free to watch Dougie's hot lapping as well as the hot lap breakdown, which is on our YouTube channel. It also gives you a nice race setup as well. So looking at the end of short qualifying here at Interlagos, Brazil, we have Lopez having redemption, getting pole position from his previous week, which has got P2. Top Gun, so these guys just rotate with a 169. Wildcard entry, Banana Cake Pie into P3. KD into P4. J-Dunk P5. Hide Beast P6. Iceman P7. Dilgraph in P8. Racing in 9th. X-Bomb 10th. Whizbang in 11th. So that's your top 10. So they'll be signed on the softs. Whizbang and all the others, which is Solano, Janko, and Bowtie or Die. Jar Jar and... couldn't get the last name in time. But those guys get a free option of tyre. Most likely we'll pick the softs since there's going to be rain coming into the race. But it's going to be interesting. A safety car might spice it up leading up to that rain. So while the guys get sorted out with the cars, we'll be right back. And we're back.
It should be okay now.
Yeah, it's alright. I just went and got a drink anyway. As these guys have just nearly finished their formation lap. Got my Milo ready.
Got your Milo ready for what hopefully will be a very interesting race. Hopefully we get a battle that we didn't get in Australia between the top two that have been Top Gun and Lopez. Yeah. And we can actually have something to watch for the remainder of the 36 laps around Brazil. Brazil always shows something promising, and the rain may potentially come, as we all know. They can always throw in something surprising. So let's see what happens in the next 36 laps. So as they all come up and cross the line and line up to their respected grid slots, 16 drivers out of the 20 have turned up, which is better than last week. So instantly getting a better result. So hopefully they all start off the line well. So here's round 2 of the DNE Brazil of Americas. And hopefully it's lights out and away we go. And Lopez gets a decent start, and so does Top Gun, as there is a myriad of cars going into turn 1. As Lopez leads them away, gets a clean start. We got the two random Mercedes going side by side, which is KD and Banana Cake Pie. KD taking up P4.
Oh,
There's
the McLaren
four,
pushing
two cars. Iceman going wide. And
yeah.
Yep.
Now, I'm just seeing the telemetry all muddled up right now because I thought I saw a Ferrari in P1.
Oh, there's the Mercedes spun. There's Mercedes spun. Solano spun onto P16. Sorry to cut you off there, Marcus, but he has now dropped down to all the way back. Hopefully, he doesn't have any wing damage and he can get going. But that's a nightmare start for him, as there's another side-by-side action as Bomb Tree and Dilgaff going past. As you mentioned, the telemetry are going all over the show, as they're still going side by side. The two Williams drivers now. Actually, no, Williams and Haas driver of M9 and Bomb Tree getting past there. So, yeah, that one a little bit chaotic, and the timing screen's also going a bit chaotic.
So it's good to see that everyone kind of nearly got out all nice and clean. Obviously, we had Solano get touched by a side pod, but these guys are still going side by side, as Lopez seems to have lost a position to KD, but he set the fastest lap.
KD isn't leading this race. I am.
What's going on, man?
Certain.
What are we looking at here? Esports ready. This is ridiculous.
KD isn't leading the race. Lopez. Okay, there we go. It's fixed itself. Lopez now leads from Top Gun from KD and P3. There was no way he gained two positions like that, unless he did an insane move.
I know, but and didn't get the fastest lap. That's why I was so confused. Because I was like, did he just cut the corner? Did he just cut turn one? But, like we're seeing in Masters, we're already seeing like a small paddock of cars getting laid out. It's a bit of a conga line as we have the pit strategy come up. I don't think that's going to be very useful when we know it's going to be raining when that first stop comes in. So even the pit strategy squad, they don't even realise what the weather's like. So fair enough. I guess they'll give us a new pit strategy when rain comes, I guess.
Hopefully. That'd be a good extra feature if they got be able to do that.
I thought they would have been linked up with the weather and just gone, hey, there's going to be rain in like 30 minutes. Maybe here's another strategy. But I guess they can only go with what's optimal as Lopez startup again.
But J-Dunk steals it. So J-Dunk, as DRS is enabled, J-Dunk going at 5th place, strong, holding in that top 5 window as he sizes up a move for Banana Cake Pie for P4 in the race. The only non-American racing
flag.
in this race yesterday. But I mean, we'll digress on that. But J-Dunk trying to get a position on the Renault driver there from the position, and we also got Iceman in part of the CRL crew in 6th place now, starting to pull away as well from McLaren. So it could be a top 6 fight, because it seems like 6 drivers could potentially have a strong showing.
Oh, as a McLaren went nice and wide, I think, from the telemetry, from the track map, he did. Lost a bit of the back end, but Solano's done a huge improvement to gain all those positions back. Seems like we've got a Ferrari in red, who also has a red X next to his name. I hope he hasn't lagged out. I haven't noticed anything. But hopefully even the AI settings are quite high, but it doesn't seem to be that way. He's braking quite early.
Yeah, it's not helping, and Solano gets wing damage because Valanci was trying to like wait for the AI just to get past it, and Solano unfortunately gets wing damage from it, and it's kind of a mess right there at the back. Top Gun steals the lead of the race as we watch all of this going on. And
he's going to make a double because the AI... Oh, he even cuts it. Oh,
yeah,
and he fights back.
Yeah, he fights back, but the AI is still going side by side. Fighting or watching a race with the AI. He still hits the AI, so it's all...
But the AI is moving left and right as well. He's defending quite aggressively.
Yeah, Solano goes deep. Yeah, Solano goes deep and then gets the position.
Finally gets pushed behind the AI, so hopefully we don't see much of the AI anymore. But Lopez is most likely going to make a move into turn 1 here as overtake is enabled. The difference in ERS is already quite a huge margin.
So this is what we didn't get to see in the start. The top 2 of the potential contenders for the championship.
He's going to go
fighting it out. So he goes side by side into around the outside, but goes for a better run for turn 3 is what he's opting for, and then getting that slingshot into the exit curb of the Sol. He's not using his ERS while he's trying to go for this move, but Top Gun still maintaining that gap and still maintaining the lead of the race as we had only in lap 5. Rain should be coming in about 10 minutes or so, as what was predicted for this race. And Top Gun still maintains the lead. KD is just there or thereabouts, and J-Dunk has overtaken Banana Kick Pie. Ooh, there's the lockup, slight lockup in the back there, as Banana Kick Pie is now getting swamped by slightly an opportunity from Iceman. Looks like he's going to have a move. And it's a 6-car train for the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, we might see what KD did last week, which was have a really good pit, because he went for the undercut on the hards last week and jumped 2 positions and even gained time on the leader. But it's all going to come down to when is it optimal to pit for inters. Are people going to wait for the DRS button to turn off, or are they just going to wait till the feel of the car is no longer there? It's all going to come down to what lap is the difference, because if you miss that pit lane and then DRS just turns off, you know the car is not going to feel good.
Yellow sector 2.
Ferrari?
Alfa Romeo.
Alpha. Mamma mia.
Yeah, Valencia. and he's gone off. He's having a nightmare race. And he gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding tolerance. Good measure. So his race going from bad to worst. Hopefully, there might be a safety car for him, and he'll be able to get into the race. But as the top 6 are all separated within 3 seconds of each other, 3.5 seconds of each other for good measure. We could probably see some overtaking very soon, as Blanky Pie is now under pressure from Iceman in there, and Top Gun is now causing this nice little train.
Yeah, it's a small train coming from Top Gun, but hopefully Lopez, because he saved enough ERS, he's got to get the move.
Yeah.
Probably done. They are side by side. But yeah, comparing it to Tier 1 in Masters, the difference was the front 3 were just so oh my god, he's got to send
he goes
it.
back. He's going to send it.
Oh!
He gets it. They make contact. So
was that a front wing?
Just fully send it.
Or is that
damage from Lopez actually. Front wing is gone, and now he's going to get swamped by the next 6 cars because Top Gun tried to go back for a dive bomb and it just didn't work. And Top Gun has also lost positions as well from this for the rash move, shall we say? He tried to do.
Oh my god, this is not looking. This is good. They are getting swamped, but he didn't get any damage.
He didn't get damaged, but Banana Pie has to go down the inside, and
forces him.
Lopez may or may not pit, but this brings KD into the lead of the Grand Prix, as we just saw that. Don't know what happened there. It's like I didn't miss his breaking point, or it was just a rash move from Top Gun, a big mistake there.
Yeah.
And that caused damage to Lopez. Lopez may have to pit at the end of the lap. KD now leads the Grand Prix. 7/10 is the gap, but it's coming down, so maybe the damage isn't as bad as we might think, but we'll have to wait and see what Lopez does.
Maybe it's still drivable.
Maybe it's still drivable, but he's still continuing on. J-Dunk is now in P3, sorry. Banky Pie in top 4. Top Gun now dropped down to 5th after at one point leading the race first to turn 1, but now dropped down to 5th place, and now he's under pressure from Iceman. Iceman is now looking to seize up some opportunity behind him. They have DRS enabled, but Iceman has literally no ERS to even try and do anything about that. So he has to manage that at some point. We're only on lap 8, and he's already got no ERS. We've got a battle between the 2 half sides. Ooh, the M9 Racing nearly losing it into the wall or the exit 5, and still keeping that Williams intact as Dilgaf is still maintained in 8th place. And as the wall kicking off here and into Lagos, the rain is still yet to come, of course, and 7/10 is now the gap. So KD now starting to increase the lead a little bit, but Lopez is there or thereabouts. J-Dunk is now starting to pull back, and now Banana Kick Pie is now putting pressure on him for DRS. So Banana Kick Pie might get a podium opportunity here for and steal that position from J-Dunk.
No, I think he's just too far away to make a move into turn 1. But he could set himself. Oh my god, I'm taking that back. He's actually probably going to make a move. No, he'll stay behind, but he'll make a move going into the second DRS zone most likely. Because unless no, he just decides to cut. That's definitely going to be a warning thrown on. But J-Dunk gets a way better line, and he's not even going to go for the slipstream. There we go. Gets behind the car, but we'll see these guys battling throughout as Hyder Beast and Dilgaf has battled it out. Just did a quick move. Just slips right in front.
Yeah, P7, P8. The Beast is doing a solid job actually. His first race didn't race last week, but he's racing now, and he's doing a very solid job in McLaren. in the top 8. Fearful that his pace wasn't going to be here for the top guys, but he's still showing solid pace, and he's still within 7 seconds of the lead. So he's doing a super solid job. There's the lead of the Grand Prix, actually.
Yeah, just over the hill.
You can actually see it from 8th place. Yeah, just over the hill. So he has every opportunity to potentially nick a surprise victory if he can get the strategy right, of course.
Yeah, and what I'm
You say
noticing
again,
is...
the rain might.
Yeah, exactly. The rain's going to come in, but like Lopez is actually still in DRS with wing damage.
Yeah, which is very impressive to say the least. But J-Dunk is can't catch. Yeah, but the crazy thing is that J-Dunk can't catch, and isn't able to catch. That's the interesting part of that. Considering the wing damage that Lopez did obtain, and if anything, he's still under pressure from Banana Kick Pie. Banana Kick Pie is still within DRS and getting within a 10th, but can't seem to get the moves done. Done into Cesar Lago.
With Lopez's wing damage, and you know the rain's coming, would you change that front wing? As I see some spit of the rain starting to come down onto the visors.
The rain starts to come down. I say why not? If you know you've got that pace, you can just get that pit stop. I mean, he needs to build the gap now. I mean, J-Dunk is doing that for him right now. So the gap is now 2.3 seconds. If he can get that to maybe 8 to 9 seconds when the rain gets a bit harder and J-Dunk is still struggling on these tires, he has the opportunity. KD is giving him that opportunity now with that slipstream and DRS to pull a gap, which he can be able to change the front wing. Top Gun goes in overtake on Banana Kick Pie, goes down the inside, and this time he gets that move done and hits his breaking point perfectly fine. Now he has to go for a move on J-Dunk in the Alpha Tauri for 3rd place, holding on his Iceman there or thereabouts. So this is a 4-car battle now for P3. Iceman nearly loses it. So the rain is starting to definitely get heavier. It's starting to struggle a little bit. Times will be obviously slower than what they did at the start, and it's all getting very slidey as they go into little fir tree.
Yeah, they're just trying to fight for grip here as soon as the track is slightly getting a bit greasy for them. But on the softs, they should be able to still maintain grip, but they did qualify on them, so they'll be not as optimal as the people behind them. But saying that, still not time for enters, still plenty of time. Probably at this rate, I'll still give it around 5 laps.
Coming up for second.
Unless the rain really just comes down.
Yeah, Slam Dunk moved for 2nd place. It looks like Top Gun's got 3rd place. Top Gun gets that position. So he's now back up into 3rd place, going on the outside, and Banana Kick Pie still can't get past. Top Gun now back into 5th place. So 4 seconds is not the gap Lopez has got. If you can now extend that gap a little bit, maybe to even 5 or 6 seconds, you could definitely change that front wing, and you could probably mount a challenge on KD, because he's showing great pace on this stint alone. We're only on lap 12, and the rain is coming down even heavier, so drivers may choose to pit. We've got the Dilgaff and Hildebeest in 7th and 8th, so also doing a strong result there as well. So
I think
lap 12, and the rain is
pitted early for Inters.
Yes, he's coming in, so yeah, nothing to lose. Why not? He is about 30 seconds off the car next to him, so why not pit and see if he can be able to get it as car in 14th, the Kita Lala or Yaya? Well, it's a Kita Yaya. I like that name.
Jaja.
Nikita Jaja. I like that name. As he's trundling around in
Yellow
14th.
flag?
I'm surprised he hasn't.
Banana cake.
We have a yellow flag. Banana Kick Pie.
Oh my god, he's ripped in half.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Safety car has been deployed.
Oh, even Bexbomb did nearly the same thing.
Bomb Tree tries to go into pit lane, and he saw the safety car come up, and he just did a last minute dive for the pit lane. Banana Cake Pie.
Banana Cake Pie, if you're watching this, please clip it, send it to me so I can show it on stream. I'll do it live just so I can see how your tyres from the whole left-hand side was destroyed. As Solana was speeding, so he has a drive-through penalty. You were ripped apart. You clearly hit the left-hand side wall. It looks like
He was battling with J-Dunk So I don't know if he was trying to go for a move for J-Dunk or it was battle with Iceman as well. So what happened there?
But Anarchy Pie's already responded saying, fucking what? I was fucking murdered. But, did you... I'm going to take a guess. He's clearly hit the pit wall. Like where the entry splits left and right. He's obviously hit it straight on. Because it's ripped the whole left-hand side. Unless maybe someone was going side by side and they just bumped into the left.
Yeah.
But like getting bumped, you could still hold it. But obviously the track is a bit greasy. You might have lost it all at the same time. But I would love to see it if you can already like. I don't care if it's phone footage, man. Send it. I'll download it. I'll put it straight onto the live stream. Because everyone. Solana's pitted for mediums. Obviously, he had a drive-through, but so you won't be able to do that until the end of the safety car period. So might as. I mean, yeah, I guess you don't want to use inters.
Yeah, so as we expected, Lopez pitted and changed his front wing.
I don't think Hyderbeast is meant to be out on softs.
Top Gun leads the Grand Prix. KD has dropped from lead to second place. I don't know where he lost lead from because he was there. Safety car is now starting to be full. Oh my goodness! Safety car, no.
No. What is going on? What's going on?
Oh my goodness me!
Oh, look at the look at the front wing. Oh dearie me! No, this is.
Oh my goodness me, J-Dunk. I mean, like.
This is Masters. This is Australia Masters, but without the heavy rain. What is going on?
The safety car pulled out because he stopped, and then he saw the car last minute. I don't understand why the safety car just stopped in the middle of turn 3.
Was it flashing green? 4. Was he letting cars go because there were back markers or what?
No, because Top Gun came out. Oh yeah, no spinner. That's the McLaren driver, Lucky Talala. Yeah, but Lucky Talala.
He's on hard.
He's on hard tires. I don't know why he's on hard tires. But Lucky Charger. Still like that name. But yeah, craziness.
Like
as we even go, I still like the name. It's a great name. But yeah, it's craziness. As we, I can't explain it. Like safety car doesn't stop.
Someone clip it, please.
Until
someone on Twitch. I know you're watching. Clip it, please.
So we got Yaya. Now has to pit again, I would imagine, because he did back, but he's still a lap down. So Top Gun still leads the Grand Prix. That's what I was questioning about the most. Was Top Gun overtook KD in the pit exit, and obviously the safety car stopped. He comes out the pit exit, and then the safety car still stopped. I don't understand why it doesn't move when it comes and sees the car. And then obviously the McLaren of I believe it was the Kitayaya, Jaja, and Top Gun made Racer blindsided. He couldn't stop. He hits the back of, I believe, the Haas driver or the Red Bull driver. One or the other. And
he hit the back of Top Gun for sure, who was parked behind the safety car. Yeah. But because I think what was happening was because there was Top Gun as well as a driver in 15th. The safety car was like, let the back marker go. He's been lapped. Let him go through. But because Top Gun's right behind it, he doesn't. He just has to sit there. Whereas Jar Jar's like, okay, do I go because I've got the leader in front of me? Do I need to go? And then they're both at a standstill. Race is coming out of the pits nice and hot, and because he might have been messing with his ERS, he might have been talking with someone, just losing concentration, and just back end the car of Top Gun moving late, just so he didn't get his tyre ripped off like what happened to Macca Stew in Australia. But he lost his front wing and he's thrown him down to 11th from leading the Grand Prix. But he was also jumped in the pits.
Yeah, but when?
So he was held up from people coming into the pits. But he's the McLaren. No, he's the Mercedes, so he should be first or last in the pits.
He was first in the pits. So the Mercedes pit lane is the first one, isn't it? So he probably got held up by other cars coming in, and then it was just a domino effect, really, for him, and then he couldn't get out. And I think Top Gun jumped him coming at the pit exit, and then obviously we saw that. But then when he came back on track, he hit J-Dunk. Also, he spun his car around. J-Dunk gets hit and then he loses his front wing, and then there was a little melee of another couple of cars maybe that had to pit as well because of racers spinning around. So Series may have to look into that because the re-entry that he did nearly
5
also
seconds,
forced
J-Bunks
J-Dunk to
already.
retire.
What is happening?
Yeah.
This is, as Maka Stew is commenting as well, Sad Reacts, lucky to lucky to be in the race. He is very lucky because it was basically similar to your incident where you just hit the back end
it was
tire.
very similar.
But I think it was just the speed difference. I don't know how fast it was going, but we caught it. But then the biggest issue was afterwards when he made the mistake was his re-entry. Now that's something that needs to be addressed because he got hit on the right hand side and then he flick spin back onto the main track, which he also hit another driver. So even though this could all just be KD's driver error, after obviously he would be mad. Lost a front wing after a free pit. But yeah, it absolutely shambles as Bernardo Cake Pie gives me the video.
Safety car is in this lap, so I guess we'll have to wait until we see that replay as we see how these cars restart on lap 16 in the wet. Was dry earlier, now wet. Top Gun leads the way and is the effective safety car as we start and restart the race, and he bolts. Lopez follows. Dilgaff is in third place. Bombtree, in P4, and we start away and we go side-by-side action into turn 1 as we get the racing point of Iceman overtaking Bombtree there for 4th and 5th place. They both go wide, go side-by-side. The battle for the lead as we saw that Lopez taking the round the outside takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Dilgaff still holding around in 3rd place, and Top Gun now losing that position after restart. Lopez leads the Grand Prix, and we got Bombtree still maintaining 4th place after all of that was going on in the melee. We still got 2 side-by-side actions. KD moving up another position from M9 Racing in 8th and 9th. But Lopez takes the lead of the Grand Prix and reacting the best out of the 3. And it's only on lap 17. 1 second is now the gap as we can see the top 4 man of Bombtree doing really well. He does have wing damage as well, actually, for good measure. That does Bombtree. I did notice that. Iceman in 5th place, holding on and trying to see if he goes for a move. KD going for a slight recovery driver after the mishap of the safety car, as he's got Whizbang in the 2nd racing point just behind him, struggling a little bit there in the exit of Magulio. Iceman just sees slicing up another move on Bombtree. As he tried in the first, on the restart, he thinks he's got it stick now. Breezes past the Williams driver there, and he gets positioned down. We got yellow in the last corner there, but it's just going slow, I believe. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And Iceman goes and takes 4th place there, breezing past the Williams driver. It's almost like he just overtook him in a standstill. And he's now on the charge for 3rd place on Dilgaff, the Haas driver there. So Haas are doing really well 1st and 3rd, and he's also about to lap the 2nd Mercedes driver of Solano. A poor race there, and he does get out of the way just before Ferradora, and Iceman follows suit, as well as difficult taste, and Bombtree also trying to get out of the way as well. And oh my goodness me, KD just goes for a dive bomb on the inside of Whizbang, gets the move done, but KD now trying to lap his teammate there, gets the part move done for 6th place, and Hildebeest getting that position there as well.
Yeah, I think everything's starting to maybe calm down a little bit. Everyone's roughly around 1 second difference between each other, except for Iceman. He just watched Dilgaff just absolutely tail whip, so he's got to take advantage of this.
Yeah, he's got so much
he uses the pit lane to help him out as well.
Yeah, and gives him space, but up into 3rd place goes Iceman. So Iceman liking these conditions as much as any other driver at the moment.
Maybe he loaded up a wet setup. Maybe he has loaded up a wet setup. Could be the difference here.
Yeah. Could be the difference. He's only 2.7 off Top Gun as top 2 now pulling away. Lopez is absolutely flying and pretty much checked out in the lead. Top Gun in 2nd place. Iceman now starting to catch, actually, a little bit of the Red Bull driver in 2nd place. And maybe you're right, he might have that wet setup that could give him that confidence in these conditions. So we're only past half distance, and it's on a 3-second time penalty.
So what I've got here, as everything's calmed down a little bit, is Banana Cake Pie's incident. I'll bring that across, blow it up. All right, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the quick replay system. So this is how Banana Cake Pie was ruined from the race.
That's a quick replay system.
So he's holding down the inside, and oh dearie me. And he's ringed the back wall, and it spawned him back onto the track with a ripped tyre. Look at that. That is...
I'm going to check this out now.
That is insane. Yeah, so yeah, I've got you on a screen share on my Elgato and not on the actual screen. But that is a huge incident. I might actually have to change that up for you so you can even have a look. I'll do a seamless change.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you've seen it, yeah. So...
Oh my gracious me.
Wow.
So Iceman goes side by side with him. He goes around, gets past, sideswipes him a little bit. A car resets him. So the car automatically resets him, but
he's obviously gone into the pit lane backwards, but because he's hit the wall going through it, his back tyre's snicked it. It's ripped off while it's happened and respawned him back on track dead. So that could have even been a bigger of a hazard towards the car behind.
Yeah, had he actually spun it further left, he would have straight up retired because the back wheel just popped off. Yeah. But it registered. I think the crash probably.
I think it did register.
I think
he did hit the wall bounce, but I don't know. It seemed like nothing happened.
I guess it registered him hitting the wall, but I guess the game just predicted that he would just hit the wall and go into the pit entry and just reset him to track. But my goodness, if he didn't actually ghost there, like another car would have been destroyed. I think it was another car that was like just straight up went past him as we saw that. So yeah, that was a very strange accident. And our very first live action replay. We never had one of those before.
No, because
that's actually quite cool.
Because I can't actually set like an instant replay thing up. But like what it does is if you clip something on stream from Twitch, right, and I have it set up, we can actually grab what was clipped and play it on the screen on like a little bottom left corner or something. I have it set up, but it's just got to be active clips, you know. We could actually have like someone who can do it and just see like, oh, there's a really good move, let's clip it, instant replay, you know. Or I could literally just go clip it. Let's watch it again. As KD cutting through the field after these huge mistake, but and 3 seconds to his name. But he's cutting through the field. He was around 10th on the restart, and he's pushing for Iceman.
Yeah, Iceman up into 3rd place, and there's only 1.2 second gap. So Iceman did pull away, but not by much. And gaps have been at the status quo. We got Valencini spinning there, I believe. He lost just 2 positions on the 2 AlphaTauris of Bowtie and J-Dunk, 10th and 11th place.
I just have a feeling Katie's going to make a move in around a lap's time. But Hard Beast is staying behind. The overtake mode, damn, that's ambitious. Didn't lose the back end at all.
Yeah, bearing in mind that every driver does score points in DNE, so if you finish the race, you do obtain points in the America Series. The only place that doesn't do it is Masters, which I find bizarre, but I digress. But Lopez now still leads the race.
Yeah, we'll go on board for him for a little bit. Macastu seems impressed by his driving techers, especially when he might still have wing damage, because I don't know if he's actually pitted for a front wing change.
I think he did.
He did.
I think he did.
So, yeah, he did. So it made sense. So, yeah. Macastu, you can put down an investigation to see what assist he's exactly running. I have a feeling that it's just line.
He uses... Yeah, I think he uses no assist, but just line. Because I've raced with him before in another league. And we all use no racing line. No assist, but just racing line.
Yeah.
So, and he's a very strong driver and a very quick one at that too, Lopez. When he does have his day, he does really well. But sometimes he does get desperate and unlucky.
Last round.
Last round, he does. Yeah. So Lopez does have like hit and miss race weekends. Sometimes he'll do amazing stuff, and then some days he'll just have unlucky races. that's pretty much like part and parcel of racing, really. Just sometimes you'll get those days where you'll just be desperately unlucky, and you'll have days like today where you're just completely dominating the field, and he is doing that at the moment, despite the mishaps and the up and down moments. He still has a 5-second lead on lap 23 of the Brazilian Grand Prix, as the gap's now starting to die up a bit, but we still have a battle for third place as KD. It looks like he's going to size up a move at some point on the Racing Point driver of Iceman, as he tries to gain as much traction, gets an okay run, but okay drive, sorry, but can you get the best driver of all at the exit of Young Cow, which he does pretty well. Okay, squirming for traction into the last turn, but it looks like it's going to be for no prevail for Iceman as he gets defensive, but KD has the straight line speed to just hold it around the outside, does he? Yes, he does. He sweeps around the outside and gets the move done into turn 1 and gets up to third place. Is KD now up to third place? So you have Lopez, Top Gun, and KD, top 3. Iceman dropped down to 4th, but holding on to a strong position. You got Dilgaf there on his own. And yeah, the gaps are now starting to spread out already. We're on lap 24.
Sector 1 yellows. It's a Merc.
Yellow.
Hydebeast is done.
M9 Racing's retired. Oh, he's retired in the pit lane.
Oh, in the pit lane. Okay.
So M9, so M9 Racing retired. He was P8.
Yeah, he was.
So I wonder why he retired in the pit lane.
Yeah.
So it's a shame for him because he was actually showing strong points. Checking.
I'm just watching his car leave the pit lane though. This is going to be an F.
Yeah. Luckily, no cars are going around. And the exit.
As it just waddles out.
Yeah, he just waddles out, but he should be okay. As we got another spinner, we got Solano, I believe, spinning in 14th place, stuck, I believe. Yeah, and he has wing damage for good measure. So having another spin there. Also a lap down as well.
As I'm still seeing that car has finally gone off the track. It's actually done the whole DRS bit. It's gone for a small cruise.
So Bombtree has gone into the pit as we see the car get.
I think it's because you retired too late into the pit lane. Because I know if you retire going into the pit, it will stay in the pits. But if you go halfway through the pit lane, it won't register your retirement until afterwards. So
you have to. Yeah, you have to weirdly time it, right? You have to
I just send it into the pits, cop a pen, retire. if I'm having a poor day at the office. X-Bomb goes into the pit, so are people starting to put on the wets? No, he's putting on a fresh set of inters. Has he changed his front wing?
Struggling. Yeah, he changed his front wing.
No, he just broke the other side, leaving the pit lane.
He didn't change his front wing.
The pit crew didn't change it, and then him leaving the pit lane has broken the other end plate off. Look at it.
Yeah. It's gone completely. So he's having. I think he went to go change his front wing, but I guess he didn't select the option to. But I thought they changed that for this game, but I guess he didn't.
We guess a lot of things in this team, and his Codemasters just doing their thing.
I guess he didn't.
But literally, there's not one battle really. There's just Hydebeast. 1.5. Really, for the last 10 laps, it could be just this.
It could be. So there's now developed a 6-second lead on Top Gun, and there's a 3-second gap between there, and there's another 3-second gap between KD and Thingy. So, yeah, Hildebeest is the only. Only battle at the moment.
Might as well have a look at Penn, see what happens.
Yeah.
So Lopez, he's got maybe 1 penalty to his name. Nah, just 2 warnings, so he can be getting a 3-second. Top Gun got a handful, but he has. Oh no, he got a 5-second penalty by most likely speeding into the pit lane. So he's got 7 on him. 8 seconds. KD, he pitted twice because he had a hefty amount of penalties. It just comes up with 2 pens. So I guess he has. I'm going to just take a guess and say 8 seconds as well. So an Iceman, I assume he's got a handful as well. Yeah.
He just has 2 penalties. Wait, yeah, just 2 penalties.
Yeah.
So that's top 4. We'll continue on.
1 pen. Oh, so we actually have 2 people on wets.
Yeah, we do. I guess wait, who are on the wet tires?
Bowman,
Oh, it's a
Bowtie Die or Vislani.
Bowtie and Vislani and
As Dilgaff.
Dilgaff.
So
It's for wet tires as well.
it is
Maybe
looking quite bad. But I know Inters
Yeah,
can just do everything.
Inters do. If you can manage the gap and you have the pace, you can pretty much just cruise to thingy. But then there is a point where the intermediate tires, I think on this game now, it is different. Because on last year's game, it was like intermediates, you could run on anything.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I ran Inters at Germany when it was literally like typhoon weather. And I wasn't losing any pace to people on full wets. But this, like you said, it could be a huge difference this year. But what can happen is Lopez can just go, yeah, I've got 8 seconds. I can chill. If Top Gun pits as he does onto full wets, now I can do it. Now I have the freedom to do so. So.
I mean, Lopez could stay out.
Well. Yeah, he can just chill.
You could stay out and see what happens. He's got that 8-second buffer. If the gap does come down substantially, then he could.
Top Gun served his 5 seconds there as well, so good idea to pit, remove those 5. As Iceman goes for another set of Inters. Why is
he
he
yellow in second?
I think that's a mistake. Oh, I think that might be. That was a. I thought it was.
Iceman did go for another.
Did he?
I think Iceman did go for a pit.
Did he make a mistake in the pit?
I think he made him. I think he spun.
Oh,
he did spin. Oh, he spun. I thought he went to the pit lane.
I thought he did go in the pits.
I thought he did too. It showed up he went in the pit lane.
Wait,
unless he spun.
He spun in the pit lane and it spawned him outside of it because that's what happened last year.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, and now he's dropped all the way.
And he's got to pit
again.
again.
Another spin that Whizbang is spun in the top of sector 2 or sector 3. Is that Whizbang? No, is it?
Yeah,
it's Orange. It's McLaren. It's McLaren.
And a McLaren.
McLaren.
Well.
I think is it Nikita? It was Nikita.
Someone changed their mind last second. Everyone's really slow.
Everyone's really pitting for these wet tires. So it is wet period. It definitely is the wet period right now, as Lopez does come in the pits, and Katie also pits for wet tires. So obviously the intermediates cannot last on this game as they did on last year's game, and now Hilderby still staying out. And why not? I mean,
but the difference is 12 seconds.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah,
it was
definitely time for wet tires. Yeah, so the wet tires is the tires to be on right now.
Yeah, look how bad it is.
It is really, really bad as Lopez trundling away into the lead. The Grand Prix where the safety car is deployed. Safety car is deployed. And we don't know why the safety car is deployed. Maybe it's just way too wet. And we're going to have like a 3-lap sprint to the end of the Grand Prix.
Bit of a roller coaster on people pitting. Hopefully Iceman doesn't make a mistake through here.
We got driver suspension for the KTI here for speeding into pit lane.
Safety car.
Disaster race, but safety car, yeah. That's
what caused that?
No.
What caused that? Guys?
We don't know what caused it. So we just safety car is deployed. So on lap 29, we have a 3-lap sprint.
So now it really does come down to penalties.
It really does, yeah. I mean, what you do here, Hildebeest could probably hold out on the intermediate tires. You just hold out for 3 laps on the wets, or does he just go and pit?
Well, Hypebeast has 32 seconds to the next
32 seconds. He could pit. Yeah, he could pit now.
And he does. Because Bowtie, please go past the safety car if it's telling you to.
Yeah, just go past the safety car.
It's being defended by the safety car. He gets the move done. And he gets disqualified because it's yellow flags.
What?
But he's trying to unlap himself.
I just don't get this game.
Oh, he just lost good
Why was he
points.
Why was he disqualified?
He's trying to unlap the
If he was-
safety car.
But why? But that's so stupid because it's just like the safety car is not an F1 car, so why would he get disqualified for overtaking the safety car
He's
when
in
he's not leader
ninth.
of the
He's
Grand Prix?
trying to unlap himself. Game. Yes,
bad.
yes, there's yellow flags. Yes, you're yellow. You don't pass man in yellow. But he's ninth. He's been lapped once.
Yeah, but he wasn't even, I don't know. He's not even the lead car.
He's
he
not
was
even.
in front of the. That's such a shame. That's such a shame. This game can be.
You know what's going to happen? I have a feeling that half these cars are not even going to catch up.
It might.
Oh, you know what? The actual safety car is quite slow this year.
Yeah, they'll catch up. It just feels bad for Bowtie though, because he was actually
he was in ninth.
9th.
So we've had Racing retire at ninth. We've had Bowtie or Die disqualified at ninth. So by the logic of probability, Vince Lani is going to have his car blow up
At 9th.
at
9th
ninth.
place is a cursed. It's a cursed number in this race.
Yeah, he's just going to blow up. We'll just go on board with him. Who knows? He might actually blow up. He's in an alpha.
Yeah, so.
See, he's behind. No, see, he's behind Lopez at ninth.
Yep.
Why hasn't he been prompted to go past? Why hasn't he been prompted?
He can't. You can't overtake him. There's no ruling. Well, there's a ruling. That car's can overtake, but he has to stay there now. He can't overtake Lopez. It's a shame because you should have the opportunity to overtake and just get past because this just wrecks his race even more.
Xbox is locked in there, and then
yeah,
the 11th driver's
pretty much
ages away. So we just have 9th and 10th just slotted between P1 and 2, and they can't just let P2 go in front.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they can't let him, get a better run, to not be in the way for the restart because you can't overtake.
Yeah.
So Top Gun has to have basically, he's basically got a second behind. I can't even see from that view. Look at the weather.
The weather is so bad. There's Hildebeest gets a 5 second penalty for collision with Solano.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't see a thing.
As I don't know how he's done that on the straight when the cars were just all together. So I don't blame him again. You're right. You probably can't even see a thing. There's
I think this is up there with the worst conditions I've seen on this game.
I see why the safety car were deployed. Holy.
Look at this on. This is not even in cockpit. If you're on cockpit, you can't even see.
Oh, yeah.
I can understand how Macastu just sent it into the pit lane. No, into Amazing now in Tier 1. But these were not Australia conditions. This is black.
This is just grey. It's just straight up grey, really. I can't see a thing. It's just straight up grey. And just Lopez. It's going to be a 4-lap sprint, but who knows how it's going to finish? There's a car going wide. Who was that? I think it was a Mercedes of Solano going nearly off the track. So 4-lap sprint. Who you got your money on for this race? It's anyone's guess.
Well, it's going to be another top 3 fight again, but because of the back markers slit in between them,
it does ruin it a little bit, yeah.
And time penalties on the drivers. Lopez seems a bit too comfortable at the moment. I'm just going to stay on Volkswagen because he's at the front. I think he's actually let the Red Bull. Oh, KD, Snicko. No wing damage though.
Valanci, Top Gun, Bomb Tree gets a 5-second penalty. Everyone's getting 5-second penalties for hitting people.
What is that Merc doing?
The Merc is just stopped. What is that going on there? Everyone's just hitting each other and getting 5-second penalties. We've got a 4-car divide.
Why is he was 4 seconds behind?
I have no idea. As we get going anyway as Top Gun still behind Lopez Magic Fly. Lopez Magic Fly leads the Grand Prix. We got Wanda Williams getting out the way as he gets out the way, and KD's up to P3, Hildebeest into P5, holding P5, shall we say.
Because he did pack up the crew quite heavily, as I think that is a Red Bull trying to make a move. I can't tell if it was blue flags or not, but
it's a bit of a messy restart, but Lopez now putting away 1.7 second lead, and now KD looks like he's about to get see an opportunity for the second place as Top Gun is under pressure from the Mercedes driver there. Into the S section we go. It's all pretty much a 1-by-1 section. Iceman gets past Hildebeest as they're going side by side, and they're going at it in mid corner as it's basically trying to get the Mercedes out the way, and Hildebeest still maintaining that position, but Iceman has the inside, goes down the inside there and Pato and gets the move done just before Magulio. And Hildebeest now dropping down to 6th place. He's got J-Dunk now applying the pressure as well as we come up to Yugen Kao and see if he can be able to get a good run. And it looks like Hildebeest is going to struggle a little bit as he's got fast drivers behind him coming up the field as Bomb Tree overtakes Valancini for 9th place. We also got KD not really mounting a challenge just yet as J-Dunk does get past Hildebeest for 6th place. So Hildebeest dropping from 5th to 7th on the safety car restart. So a nightmare safety car restart for him. I don't know what happened at the start of that. He just stopped every single car in front of him. So Top Gun now under pressure here from KD with 2 to go here in Brazil as the Mercedes driver still ramping up that pressure on the Red Bull driver. Into Ferradora we go as they go Linus Stern into the S section. He tries to see a move on the inside there, but I don't think there's any move you can get from there. And Top Gun still maintaining that lead, getting good traction from the Red Bull. KD trying on the inside. Very
very Merc-like against the Red Bull.
Very Hamilton-Alvin-esque in that corner, but didn't really work out last time. But this time they see each other, and he gets good traction actually, but doesn't get a secondary good phase in that corner. But it is enough, as Top Gun didn't get a better one either. And this looks like it's gonna be a slam dunk move as he goes defensive. KD goes in the inside, side by side. They go into turn 1. Can they get the move stick? KD is still hanging around the inside, cuts the corner a little bit. Lopez gets a 3-second time penalty as we talk about this. Still going side by side into turn 2. Pass cover to Sol, and they're still side by side. They both got ERS to be able to manage this, and Top Gun somehow gets the traction around the outside and be able to get this move stick. But KD still trying to go down the inside, goes down the inside again as they still go side by side into pass to see the Largo.
Oh,
and
KD!
This time, KD! Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness! I don't know why. Oh, KD spins! Oh no!
What are you doing?
Oh no!
Oh my goodness me! Not again.
No.
So he lost traction going down the inside. He went a little sideways. He spun and he hit the back of Top Gun, which caused him the front wing damage.
Yeah, I think he just held it in overtake on.
Yeah,
so
he just didn't disable it.
I think what he did was he didn't disable overtake because I think it's so easy to spin when you have overtake into a corner now, and he lost it, corrected, and then used hit Top Gun's side pod as a barrier, and then just such a shame because he had that position done.
He was in front, and he knew you can't go side by side into the next one. But wow, they were side by side for 5 turns.
It was a great little battle, but it's so unfortunate. KD will have to pit again, but he will come out probably in front of, actually past for 9th place, so he'll still be in the top 10 despite the big crash. We head to the final lap of the Grand Prix, and the only person that didn't do anything wrong is the man that was leading this race from the start. Despite the front wing damage that he had earlier on the race, Lopez Matias Fly has an 8-second lead from 4 laps, so it shows how much of a dominant pace he had during this. Top Gun is going to have to hold on for 2nd place. I don't know if you had wing damage from the contact that KD's own accident happened when he tried to get past. Somehow Top Gun didn't actually get collected even more, but as Lopez comes around to the last corner of Yung Cao. Well, not really last corner, but he comes round to fly past in Brazil to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, round 2 of DNE, and he crosses the line. The Haas driver crossed the line to win the
5
Grand Prix.
seconds unserved
He has
time
the 5
penalty.
second.
This could
It's the
be.
5
This could stack up.
We'll have to wait and see. Does Shotgun
No, he
stack
has.
up?
He
Nope.
has 5 seconds
Does
as
Dil?
well.
No, Dilgaf gets a Haas 1-2.
Haas
Dilgaf gets
1-2.
P2. Haas 1-2. J Duncan P4. Iceman P5. Does Hildebeest gets P6. Katie will cross the line in P7. He still holds on the final lap with the damage
Haas
he's got.
1-2.
Haas 1-2. Lopez crossing the line by winning by 5.4 seconds. So Dilgaf, if he was just a little bit closer, probably could have won the Grand Prix despite the penalties. And yeah, crazy ass finish there.
Haas has gone from 0 points into the constructors to locking it out in Brazil. Wowee. Clearly team of the day. And driver of the day will probably have to go to GIF as well, 100%. Hopefully the game rewards that. Come on.
Yeah, but,
and he does. There we go. Had to.
He does get it. He didn't show good qualifying pace, but the race pace he had was super strong. Granted, we had safety cars, but he did a great recovery drive there. And there we see Lopez Manuel taking the win, the dominant win, shall we say, actually, because it looks like it was going to be his win and his win only. Top Gun tried to make the moves when he needed to, but didn't really work out. And as they all celebrate on the podium, it's Lopez that takes blood here in Brazil.
And J Dung takes fastest lap, but look at all the penalties all these drivers got. Most of these would have been under wet conditions, and most of them would have been probably served. So they weren't on their final score. But yeah, Lopez and Dilgev Haas 1-2, and he started 8th on the grid. So a phenomenal effort. And then Top Gun retains his spot on the podium, finished P1 last race, but now he's still in P3. Katie unfortunately dropped off with that amazing battle at the final couple of laps, dropped himself to P8. But then the CRL brothers, J Duncan Iceman, are in P4 and 5. Hydebeast, I think, in his top performance of the season so far, in P6, same with Whizbang. And then the rest of the grid with Jago Vasilani and Solano. It's a shame that Bowtie was disqualified from trying to overtake the safety car. But we'll be back with some interviews. Catch you guys soon. Welcome everyone to the post-race interviews here at Dynamic Nights Esports. Use your cell phone, boys. Yes, we have our champion for our race winner of Brazil, and what a recovery drive from the previous week, Lopez. From round one, you've gone from not from retiring to winning the Grand Prix after a small mistake in round one. How did you stay composed for this race compared to Australia? Was a little bit of a game plan, or was the rain a little bit easier for you this week?
Yeah, a bit of a game plan, and I love the wet. I will start off by this time. I did manage to get some practice in, managed to get so familiar with the car, with the setup, and just felt very comfortable from the beginning out of practice. And going into qualifying, I just had the confidence on the grip of the tires. Managed to set a really great lap in the mediums. I believe it would have been in the top 10 anyway, top 5 maybe. And yeah, just very very confident. I saw that it was gonna be wet later on, and I am probably one of the most confident persons you can see on the wet. And I just decided, gave it my all, wait for the time it starts raining, and just build the gap.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal race overall. But was there any point where you lost an end plate? Do you think of, oh, should I pit now? Because you were maintaining the pace throughout that stint on the softs, because you just lost the end plate and then you stayed with KD at the front, and you actually were pulling away to the person in third at the time. And was there any need to get rid of that front wing? Did you actually lose time overall? You felt like it, but I think it was a phenomenal performance overall, hands down.
Thank you, thank you. I did lose a lot of time. It was very difficult to get around some corners. I couldn't do the fast right hander of, I believe, turn 6, and it was a bit difficult to do it, but managed with the fuel and the overtake. I was managing from the battle earlier as well. I managed to keep within KD's DRS, and yeah, I just knew I had grip. As soon as I lost the end plate, I saw in the next corner in turn 4 that it wasn't really that difficult. Thanks to Top Gun, after the bit of a crash, which was nobody's mistake. You know, it was just a bit of misunderstanding. Me braking earlier and him braking a bit later. But no problem there. He get the position back. Actually, lost a couple of positions. Nothing major there. He still managed a good race. He managed a podium, and I managed to get very lucky with the safety car after that wing damage. It was very big. It wouldn't have made much of a difference with the pace against the others, but I knew if I had that new wing, I wouldn't really be struggling much. So I decided to change the wing as well when I pitted.
Yeah, we can't just say that it was just only one Haas driver having a phenomenal performance. Dilgaf, you, as a Haas overall, from round 1, 0 points, to round 2, P1 and 2, you've locked out the front row. This could potentially be top of the constructors. Dilgaf, what do you feel from that performance? Because you started 8th on the grid, and you just had phenomenal race pace to end up on that podium, especially in the wet.
Yeah, definitely. I knew that it was going to be an all-out battle at the beginning on the when the dry track conditions were out, but I knew that my time was going to be really, saving up my extra fuel and then saving my tires for those that wet flip over as soon as we went and pitted from the intermediate. So yeah, it was a good traction. It felt like as soon as we went on those wets, and it seemed like we had a little bit more than everyone else. So.
What did you guys all rock dry setups, or was there any thought about how wet the race was going to get and you decided to go wet setups or even a hybrid? Because it seemed like some of you guys had some incredible pace in the wet. Or were you just, the dry setups are just OP this year? This is just like a question for all of you, if you all rocked a dry setup, especially from qualifying.
I was on a dry setup myself. Yeah, I thought qualifying would be more important, so I went with a dry.
On my dry setups, on my wet setups, they're pretty much hybrids. So I gotta deal with what I got. I only got one setup. I don't really cannot afford to make any changes.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about setups, so I went with a time trial setup. To be honest with you, 210 wings, but I just managed to drive the car. I just have a really good feeling for the car. I use the
Awesome.
pad, no assist, just a racing line. I've been planning to get it off as well. And yeah, I just got a really great feeling of the car, really great feeling what the car needs to do, and how the car feels, how it behaves compared to others. And yeah, I just managed to drive it after some practice, getting to knowing the car and how it performs. And yeah, it's just getting the skill down. It's
Yeah.
what a race driver gotta do. Is you go to a race, you gotta be ready for all weathers.
Yeah, because it's a bit early to have, when drivers have like 3 setups planned, especially early into this game. There's still a lot of playing around to do with setups. But we'll go to Top Gun, who still claimed P3. There was a moment, obviously time penalties reduced that from P2 when you cross the line to P3. What was the battle with KD on those final couple of laps like? Because you guys were side by side for 5 turns in a row, and then at the end of it, KD, I think he just still had the overtake button enabled, and just caused him to spin coming out of turn 6, I think. So, was it like respectable battling throughout, or was there still argy-bargy kind of hard racing between you two?
Yeah, it was pretty respectable. The lap previous, we almost had a mirror incident of the Hamilton and Albon incident last year in real life, so he thought better of it. I saw the indicator come up, and he was there, and he realized I was turning in, so he backed out. And yeah, we were side by side, and he had me by turn 4. I was done. He squeezed me out, fair enough. I mean, he did what he had to do, and then yeah, I saw him start to lose traction to turn 5 or 6, and I was just hoping he wasn't going to come back across the track, and he did just that.
Yeah, he made
only ended
slight
up
contact.
with a yellow wing, so it wasn't too bad to just motor on to the finish. But yeah, kind of a disappointing night overall. Not a very good circuit for me. Not very comfortable there, and something stupid always seems to happen to me there. So,
I think on the bright side is because there was an incident when the safety car came out, the first one, I believe, where KD just didn't see the safety car and just went right into the back of you. That could have been a retirement for both cars. Like even in Tier 1 in Masters, we had a similar thing in Australia where Macca Stew lost visual of the safety car and hit the back of another car, and he retired. So that could have potentially ruined both of your races if that happened. Was it green light for the safety car? Was it yellow and you were just staying behind it? Well, could you give us some insight into what happened there?
There was no damage after that incident behind the safety car. I saw the safety car kind of late myself. It kind of parks up in a weird spot where you can't really see. So I saw it kind of late, but I got it slowed down, and I think even Lopez came close to hitting the back of me, but reacted. And I guess with KD being in, I guess he was third in line with the spray because it was raining by then. He just couldn't see and ran to the back of me. But you can't really fault somebody for that. It's just something that'll happen.
I had the perfect view into everything. I was so it was basically Top Gun ahead, right? He had parked the car on the right side because it was true. The safety car was really hard to see on the left side. So I was coming out of turn 3, flat out. KD is coming out of the pits. So when the safety car is out, the end of the pits, there's like the white line you cannot cross. So at the end, there's a white line that runs horizontal. So once you cross that, you have entered the track. So I was trying to get ahead of KD before that, and I did. Managed to get that position. And we were going flat out down the straight and thinking that the safety car might have already started going because he said that they were in the same party. He said that Top Gun had already gotten ahead of him because of the pit crew had not been ready and so on. We're going flat out. I had barely noticed him. So I was looking back because I had barely gotten ahead of KD. I was looking up. I wanted to see if I had any illegal overtake, give the position back, anything like that. So noticed pretty late. Managed to just avoid and brake at the same time. While KD was literally riding the back of me, impossible to see ahead of him at all. And it was just we're going too fast, too sudden. Uh, Not a really a mistake. It's just like we were really on the heat of the moment. You know, at that point we were still racing, and yeah, just that happened to happen. Bad luck for him, and very sad that he lost control as well, going side by side with Top Gun.
Yeah.
But you know, uh, there's still videos to be made, things to happen, and we'll see how all that goes.
Yeah, thank you, all three of you, for joining us for interviews. You all had a fantastic race, especially the Haas team going from 0 points into the constructors, possibly leading after round 2. But thank you guys for joining. That was a fantastic race, and hope to see you guys into round 3 at Mexico.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was a interesting overall race. You know, a lot of battles here and there, a lot of upsets towards some drivers, but overall, I think that was a pretty interesting couple last laps, especially with that typhoon-like weather. So, any final words, Doggy, before we end the stream here at the US?
Yeah, I'd say that was actually better than Australia. Actually better than we thought, actually. So that was a very enjoyable race. Mexico shall be just as close, and hopefully it might be interesting. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there for the US tiers. So, yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you all so much for watching, guys. All of our links are in the description down below. We have a website. Dougie, did you know we had a website? We're going to keep doing this gag until it gets annoying. We have a website. It's on our Twitch. Check it out.
Wait, we have a website? Since when?
Oh, dude, it's crazy. We have one. So check it out. You can also watch the stream there, and also some other party cool fun stuff is there as well. But that is all from us from Dynamic Nights Esports. We'll see you guys later tonight for GT3 with myself, moi, doing commentary once again. Hopefully this time I know how spectating works and I can actually control where I look for majority of the race. It was a little bit of a fun experiment there at Dragon Trail. But we're going, I think GT3, let me have a look at the calendar. I think we're at Le Mans for a nice 2 hour or an hour and a half enduro. So prepared for a long sesh with me later tonight. But that's all for us here at the US tier. And we'll see you guys next time. Ciao.